public relations business goes back really to the T.J. Ross and Ivy Lee report, because in that report, one of the things that they brought out was the need for the business leaders to get involved in the community and to let their sub-managers get involved in the community, because the community needs that involvement. They can't hide their people behind walnut panel doors. A healthy community benefits business, and a healthy business community benefits a healthy community, and you can't have one without the other. And they were saying at that time that the community needs this kind of leadership, and they weren't getting it. And I basically see a parallel today, as a matter of fact, because I see this need, and I think that public relations people are uniquely suited to be community leaders because, one, they're good communicators, two, they're consensus builders, and community organizations need consensus builders. It's not a dictatorship in a community organization. And three, they are interested in a lot of different kinds of things.
So when I went to University of Hawaii, I was thinking about what I wanted to do. I had done journalism in high school, and then I heard Craig Miyamoto talk about public relations, and he really described it so wonderfully that I just got excited, got involved in PRSA, the Student Society, went to the national level, worked in leadership there, and then when I graduated and got involved as a professional, I saw that opportunity to really bring that back to the kids now and get them inspired to make a difference here locally, and hopefully get them involved at the national level and learning and excited about the profession as a whole. So that's really important to me, and I hope I've given them a little bit of that.
Being one of the first people to start a PR firm in Hawaii was a very exciting experience, and of course there was only one other firm when I started my firm, and it's a lot like having a child, although I never did have one, but it's about 9 months of thinking about it, and then you give birth, and then this little baby goes through lots of growth spurts and gets big, and at some point it's time to kick it out of the house and say you're on your own. And that's essentially what I did when I sold the firm to Neil Yokota. The company was about 20 and a half years old, and it seemed like the right time to let go. And that was always an objective of mine, was to sell the company to somebody born and raised in Hawaii, and I'm so glad I was able to achieve that objective.
Joining PRSA was a very critical and very important part of my career development. You know, when you graduate from college, you have all the textbook knowledge, but you don't really have any skills in the areas of management. So I really saw my opportunities to volunteer with the PRSA chapter locally as stepping stones in helping me grow as a professional. I worked my way up the ranks through Prsa-Hawaii, serving in various capacities, eventually serving as chapter president, and then eventually on the national board, serving as Western District Chair and also on various committees, and that has been a very good experience. When you're a volunteer officer for an organization such as PRSA, you learn a lot of things that you wouldn't learn anywhere else, because you're having to manage a diverse board with very different personalities and having to make sure projects stay on track. And so I think those skills really overlapped with my professional skills, and I've valued every opportunity I've had with PRSA to serve. So I think it's been a great experience.
You know, I actually started my career rather late. I was 32. A lot of folks start younger, but I had been a mom and been doing community work, and I drifted into public relations initially through volunteer work and community work with Ronald McDonald House, and met some people in the industry, and they said, you know, you should try this out. So I started as an account exec in 1986. And I love the business. I think it is the most wonderful business to be in the whole world. I really feel that way. I'm proud to be in it. I love the work. I love the clients. I love everything about it. How I got from being that account exec in 1986 to owning the company that I worked for in 2007, actually I bought it in 1998, was a lot of self-learning, a lot of working with good people in the industry, watching how they did things, learning how they gathered information and communicated and prepared for some of the big assignments. But I will say that PRSA, I think I've been a member almost all of those years, and I will say that Absolutely. The materials, the resources, all of the access to my peers in the industry here have been a huge help to me as I've navigated my career from one place to another.
And I think public relations, the PRSA organization, as an organization, gives PR people an excellent opportunity to practice, to get involved, to make the connections, to do the networking. This is a small town, and networking is more important in this town than any town I've ever lived in, except maybe Washington, D.C.